On one side of the cage stands a man who has fought his way to the top of the MMA mountain on 3 different occasions and currently reigns over the welterweight division.
Becoming a champion is hard, but it's even harder to stay champion, you know. Just being able to overcome all the hardships, injuries, you know, losses. Won the championship before, lost it, won again. That helps me. That makes me who I am. I'm not here looking for easy fights, you know. I fight who's next, and if they want some, they can come and get it.
On the other side stands a man yet to taste defeat. His hand raised all 25 times as a professional.
I am #1 in welterweight in world. I have 25 wins and no losses.
Outstanding performance.
I won 26-0.
2 battle-tested warriors at different stages of their careers. One with a taste for gold.
There will be a new welterweight champion. It's me.
The other with a burning hunger to defend it.
You know how it is. There's hungry guys after you, you know. They're trying to beat you. They try to get you a belt. And I got to show these young guys, I'm here. I'm a champion for a reason. You know, it's a dream, you know, for everybody to get that belt. And just sitting at that throne, holding that gold, you know, it just means a lot to me.
Will there be a changing of the guard at 170? Or will the decorated champion hand the undefeated challenger his first defeat?
25-1.
Lima versus Amosov, a welterweight war in tonight's must-see main event. Yesterday's Ring of Fire eclipse was spectacular. And tonight here at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut, a different Ring of Fire. The Bellator MMA cage plays host to a spectacular confrontation in the Bellator 260 main event. After moonlighting at middleweight in an attempt to become a simultaneous 2-division champion, the always daring to be great Douglas Lima returns to the welterweight castle, where he begins his record 3rd reign as king. The challenger is the #1 ranked contender who possesses the best record in mixed martial arts, the 25-0 Yaroslav Amosov. He looks to become the first Ukrainian ever to win a major MMA title. It's Lima versus Amosov for the Bellator Welterweight Championship. Hello there, I'm Mauro Ranallo. So great to have the fans back in the stands here at the Mohegan Sun Arena. So great to be back with Big John McCarthy. And John, the Phenom Lima is Sir Kicks-a-Lot. He likes big strikes, and he cannot lie. And I'm not lying when I say that the Dynamo Amosov possesses a dynamic and diverse attack. Soon, they will enter the circle of truth, each trying to solve a major puzzle.
Well, you're talking about Sir Kicks-a-Lot. You're talking about Douglas Lima. Let's just be honest. The low calf kick has changed the sport of MMA. He is not the guy that started that. That was really, when you look at it, it was Masvidal that started. Benson Henderson kind of created a new system with it and made it better. And Douglas Lima has tattooed his name on that technique. Besides tattooing it on the legs of his opponents, he is just deadly with it. You saw what he did in his fight against Michael Page. Michael Page was doing great. One kick changed the fight. That is what Douglas Lima can do. And he's got an opponent in Amosov, 25-0, a guy that does it all. Wrestling, striking, he does it differently. He doesn't do it with the power of Lima, he does it with volume. But this is a guy that is dangerous everywhere.
Well, here's another statistic to make you salivate in anticipation of the much-anticipated main event. 45 of the combined 57 wins accrued by Douglas Lima and Yaroslav Amosov have come before the final bell. With more on Bellator 260, let's go to the fight desk. Here's Jen Brown.
Well, thanks, Mauro. Good evening, everyone. We've got a great lineup of fights tonight, and here to break it all down with me at the fight desk, of course, former two-time world champ Josh Thompson, and a new face joining us, the man with the most knockouts in all of Bellator. He's the #2 ranked welterweight sensation, Michael Venom Page. Welcome.
Oh, man, it feels good to be here. Thank you for having me.
We're excited. Well, before we get to the fights, let's talk about something we haven't seen in over 15 months. So you guys, that's fans. We have fans. Of course, it's in a limited capacity tonight, but I know that Michael is excited to see fans back in those seats.
Oh, no, definitely. I live off the energy that the fans bring in. Whether you're cheering, whether you're booing, just being present makes a massive difference for me, and I'm sure for many fighters.
I would have never have guessed.
Well, in honor of having those fans back in the seat, we put together a little something to remind them of what they've missed of Mr. MVP over here. We've got some highlights, Josh. The first one that we're going to see here, it pretty much lit up the fire of the internet. So when
you exploded onto this scene, especially after this highlight of Cyborg. What happened was he stepped in with his head down, and you jumped with that flying knee. It was beautiful work. Ended up fracturing his skull. And then your last fight against Derek Anderson, we heard the nose break from across the arena because there was no fans there, but there was shockwaves going through that arena because of that kick. I mean, what a great performance. Congratulations on your last.
Thank you so much. I felt amazing in that one. And regardless whether the fans were there or not, I always come to show something spectacular, and I hope I delivered last fight.
Yeah, you definitely did. It was quiet because there were no fans, and I think I heard his nose break all the way up here, and maybe some of the fans in their rooms that night. All right, well, I know you're going to be paying special attention to our main event tonight because welterweight gold is on the line as Douglas Lima defends his belt against the man with the best record in MMA right now. Of course, that's a perfect 25-0 Yaroslav Amosov has. Josh, what excites you most about this matchup tonight?
Look, it's a combination of a bunch of things, okay? Yaroslav Amosov being 25-0, but Lincoln, let me break this down real quick, though. His last 6 opponents are 96-22. That's how good of the opponents he's been fighting. You know, and then also on top of it, his teammates that he trains with, their record is combined 49-0. 3 of those teammates are fighters here in Bellator. Johnny Eblin, Dalton Rasta, Austin Vanderford, all undefeated fighters. Those are the type of trainers he's been training with. He's fire and electric. That's what kind of excites me about this fight.
100%. He brings something to the table that I feel no one has really done in Bellator for a while, is the level across the board. He is a great wrestler. He's a great grappler. He's great at striking. I'd say a solid 8.5, 9 across the board, and that is very difficult to handle and deal with.
But I feel like we can't count the champ out. There's just no way. He's got the power in his hands as well as the kicks, and he is very hard to take down. He's going to deliver it.
Very explosive. All right, well, that is our main event. It's going to be a great one. And our co-main event coming up before that, we've got the #3 ranked Jason Jackson. He's been on a tear since coming to Bellator. He's taking on Josh, one of the most prolific knockout artists in all of MMA, in Paul Daley. Another great matchup on this stack card. Huh?
Yeah, what Paul Daley possesses is power. Power in his left hand, power in his right hand, but he's famous for his left hook. His left hook is what has made him a star throughout every fight promotion he's ever been in. And he just finds ways to drop people. He possesses that power. Jason Jackson's going to have to learn how to deal with that power and not have to stand in front of him to take those shots.
Jason Jackson just can't get sucked into a brawl. If you get sucked into a brawl with Paul Daley, that is his game. As you say, that power in that hand is undeniable. But Jason Jackson, as we say, he's been on a bit of a streak himself. And if he sticks to the game plan, stays long, stays disciplined in everything he does, he can win this fight.
Yeah, I think what we've got to do with Jason Jackson, though, is make sure that we talk about his grappling and his wrestling, because he showed that against Neiman Gracie in his last fight. And I'm telling you right now, no one's been able to do what he did to Neiman Gracie in terms of the double unders, the turning the angles, and then lifting and slamming. And then also, why would you take Neiman Gracie down to the ground, knowing he is so successful on the ground with all the submission finishes? But that's the one thing he's got to do tonight. He's got to make sure that he mixes it up against Paul Daley to have success.
There's the confidence that he has in his ground game, for sure. All right.
He has confidence no matter what. It's everything.
All right, well, that's another great one to look forward to tonight. That's our co-main event. And here's a look at the rest of the card. Of course, we already talked about the world title fight in our main event. Can't wait for that one. We've also got top MMA prospect Aaron Pico coming in, riding a 3-fight win streak. He takes on Aiden Lee. And to kick off the night, 2 welterweights looking to make a name for themselves at 170. And for more on that, let's go back down to more of a Mo.
All right, Jen, thank you very much. 3/4 of our main card takes place in the welterweight division, including our opener between DeMarquez Jackson and Mark Lemminger.
And now we welcome tonight's first fighter, Mark Lemminger.
28-year-old Mark Lemminger comes from a hard-working blue-collar family where his dad and uncles were all wrestlers, and that toughness, well, it shows through in his fighting style. He's a strong, heavy-handed fighter with a good understanding of submissions, and of course, with that wrestling background, that wrestling base, John, always a great way to start your MMA journey.
He is an outstanding wrestler and uses that base very well to control his punch because he's got heavy hands. On the ground, he has a super heavy ground and pound attack, big elbows, and he always is going for the finish. That's what I love about him.
No pressure, but he is potentially in a sink or swim situation, looking to snap a 2-fight losing streak, kicking off the main card here under the bright lights of Bellator MMA. We will see if he's up to the task.
And now, please welcome his opponent, the Marquez Scrap Iron Jackson.
30-year-old DeMarquez Jackson has split his 2 Bellator MMA appearances, coming off a unanimous decision loss to Gracik Bozinian back in April of this year at Bellator 257. So during the COVID pandemic, a quick turnaround for Jackson, who wants to, well, erase the bitter taste of that last fight from his mouth.
Yeah, that was a loss, but I'll tell you what, it was what he did in that loss, and it was his desire, his I will not quit, I will not stop. He won that last bit of that round in that fight. He put on just a beautiful performance overall. He showed he will go out on his shield. I love watching this man.
He left it all in the cage and came up just short. He says he will do the same thing here tonight, knowing how important this fight is for both of these fighters' careers as we go to the tail of the tape for our first fight on the main card of Bellator 260.
The real thing to look at here is look at the records here. 11-5 for Jackson, 11-3 for Lemminger. Whoever gets this fight is moving up into that ranking platform. That's what they're looking for.
Here is the voice of Bellator MMA, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back inside Mohegan Sun Arena as tonight live on Showtime. Bellator MMA gets underway now with 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 6 foot, weighing in 170.5 pounds. His professional record, 11 wins, 3 losses, fighting out of Madison, Wisconsin, Mark Lemminger. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner at 5'9", weighing in 170 pounds even as a professional. 11 wins with 5 defeats, fighting out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Introducing the Marquez Scrap Iron Jackson. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Dan Mergliata.
Dan Mergliata gets the assignment. The referee for this welterweight matchup to kick off Bellator 260 from the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut.
Ready, sir.
DeMarquez
Ready,
Jackson
sir.
at 1-1 in Bellator against Mark Lemminger. He is 1-2. Lemminger in the blue gloves, Jackson in the red gloves. This is round number 1.
Step up to the left, it's okay. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. A little bit of faking. You want to touch his front hand to find the distance, you can do that too. There we go. Yeah.
Jackson representing Sanford MMA. Lemminger representing Chosen Few Gym.
This is exactly the position Mark Lemminger loves to be in as far as coming forward and influencing where the fight's going to be. Nice job by DeMarquez to get that nice clinch. He's got that arm trap. He can just swing himself. The only problem with it right now is that fence is creating him from being able to bring him back the way he wants. So it's a matter of that balance point for Lemminger.
Jackson momentarily figure-4ing the left leg, scooping up Lemminger, depositing him on the canvas. Jackson grew up on a dirt road in a small town in Georgia known as Briar Creek, and here he is now fighting on a world stage through his hard work and dedication, and has already tasted a lot of adversity to get to this point, wants to make the most of this opportunity, as does Mark Lemminger.
Very nice job. You're seeing by DeMarquez. What he's trying to do is take away that posting hand, that right arm. That way he can drive Lemminger's shoulders towards the mat.
If you want to toss a couple punches up there, maybe.
Minute and a half gone in the opening round. Takedown by Jackson. Set the tone for the early stages.
Get on that right knee now. Get on that right knee if you can.
Mark Lemminger wants to use that post, put his right knee to the ground, and then start to suck his leg back out from what you're seeing DeMarquez is holding it inside. Now it's free. He can actually bring it free and get himself getting close to getting back to his feet.
Lemminger has faced the #1 contender in the welterweight division, Yaroslav Amosov, losing at Bellator 244 in August of last year due to a doctor stoppage due to a cut. Amosov challenging Lima in the main event as Jackson continues to be heavy on Lemminger.
Putting a lot of weight down on top of him. Lemminger just working to fight the hands right now.
Midway point of the first frame, and very much a standstill.
Nice job of
wrist control. Corey Overtime Anderson, happy to see some of the Bellator MMA fan base back in the stands. Remember, March of last year, we were here at the Mohegan Sun Arena preparing for a Bellator MMA event when it was canceled, and of course the pandemic began, and there's the break, much to the delight of the crowd as they anticipate this happening as Lemminger and Jackson try to light each other up before it's Lemminger who changes levels looking for the takedown.
Nice exchange in there by both guys. Lemminger shoots for the takedown. It's kind of nice, not only seeing the crowd, but hearing the crowd.
And they are not showing an appreciation for the wrestling skills in this match.
A lot of times people don't like the wrestling aspect of MMA, but it is so important, so influential in where the fight can be taken.
And everywhere is Nature Boy Ric Flair country, including here at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut, as his trademark woo is heard in the crowd, and hopefully the action will deliver those kinds of reactions as Lemminger now with some ground and pound on Jackson from top position. Butterfly guard there momentarily by Jackson as now Lemminger goes for the choke.
Lemminger going for that guillotine right now. DeMarquez needs to be careful where he puts that head. He's in a position now, holding on the wrist. Lemminger putting a lot of top pressure on him, driving his way forward.
Neither Jackson or Lemminger has been submitted. Coming up on the final 30 seconds of the first round, Lemminger feeding Jackson a steady diet of lefts, and now going to the right hand, tattooing the face of Jackson. Jackson trying to block some of these strikes. A lot of them getting through, John.
A lot of them can do a big difference between when DeMarquez had the same position and Lemminger. He wasn't throwing the strikes. Lemminger's opening up. Big, heavy hammer fist.
Sorry, Mr. Jackson. Mark Lemminger strikes are for real in the final seconds of the first round. Well, Roberto Duran, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Thomas Hearns, and Sugar Ray Leonard famously fought one another in a series of 9 incredible fights. Showtime Sports documents the seismic collection in a 4-part series, The Kings, available now on Showtime.
You have to be fighting for something. Boxing, for me, was a way of making a statement.
Racism was a big thing in our life.
The Four Kings gave us the greatest period in the history of the sport.
No matter where you've come from, your race, your creed, you can become champion of the world.
Must-see documentary series. Speaking of kings, Bellator MMA welterweight king Douglas Lima in the house, beginning his record third reign, defending the title against the undefeated Yaroslav Amosov in the main event. And speaking of welterweights, we're set for round number 2.
All right, second round, gentlemen. Let's go.
There goes the bell, and John, your unofficial scorecard in that opening 5 minutes. How did you score it, my man?
Both guys had their moments in very similar positions, but it was Lemminger that was the one that was able to land the strikes from those positions.
But there was an eye-catching shot from Jackson.
Look at the difference in strikes landed. 3 of 10 from Jackson, 20 of 42 from Mark Lemminger.
So a strong start for Lemminger, but an equally strong start in the striking department for DeMarquis Jackson here in the first 30 seconds plus of the second.
Yeah, but he just hit a big shot right there.
He's another right hand before Lemminger switches levels. And there's Jackson again looking for the choke.
Well, he's got that, but he does not have control of the body. It's going to be very difficult for him to get that choke and make it work. A nice job of reversing the position from it.
And now, half butterfly.
Get on your butt. Get on your butt. Get your back on the wall. Get on your butt.
Jackson, top position on Lemminger.
And this is a position where Lemminger doesn't find himself very often, so this is really a good thing for DeMarquis. He needs to keep Lemminger on his back if he can. Lemminger get back up against the cage.
Lemminger improving his position by getting his back up to the fence, and Jackson unable to take advantage of the top position.
This is just a repeat of what Jackson was doing in the first round.
Trap his arm.
Jackson now has Lemminger's back.
He's losing the position. These are the times when you're looking, saying, look, if you don't have it, let go of what you have and get to a better position. Don't try to hold on to something if you know you don't really have it. There you go. Set himself back. Don't try to hold on to something that's bad. Move the position, get to a good position, and then do work.
And now it's Lemminger in top position from half guard. And Lemminger much more active than Jackson was in top position.
It is the real difference you're seeing in this fight. When Lemminger gets to a position to inflict damage, to hit with elbows, to hit with the hammer fist, he's doing it.
8 of Lemminger's 11 wins have come inside the distance. 7 of Jackson's 11 wins have come before the final bell. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left here in the second. Lemminger continuing to try to work from top position. Trying to posture.
Perfect.
Right now, DeMarquis just trying to hold him down, break his posture, keep him from being able to land big shots, but he's not able to make that happen.
2 minutes. We got 2 minutes.
Ground and pound from Mark Lemminger, hoping to snap a 2-fight losing streak to kick off Bellator 260. The elbow strikes, and now Lemminger looking for the rear naked choke, looking for his second rear naked choke in his career.
Got him flat now, getting those hips up in the air. DeMarquis has got to move.
And Morgliata steps in. Mark Lemminger picks up the TKO victory to snap a 2-fight losing streak, sending Jackson to a 2-fight losing skid.
Real big difference when you saw Lemminger get to the point where he was the one on the top position. Here's Lemminger, throws a nice shot inside, little uppercut, lands clean. That caused DeMarquez to have to reset. He was a little stunned by it. Look at his positioning with his legs and his balance. Nice little lead uppercut by Mark Lemminger. And it was the difference when they were in the top position of the grappling. You saw Lemminger landing big elbows right here. Those hurt. All those are big-time shots. You see DeMarquez having to move. He tries to make a big move, but leaves his neck open. Has to try to fight the hands. Ends up belly down on the mat. We got back mount. His hips are up in the air. He tries to get himself back to a postured position, but he's just taking too many shots. Referee stops the contest. Beautiful job by Mark Lemminger.
Lemminger came into this fight with something to prove, and he proved it.
He absolutely did. That was the kind of performance you expect from him.
Let's make it official with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, referee Dan Mergliano steps in, waves a halt to the contest due to unanswered strikes. Officially 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Round number 2 for the winner by TKO, Mark Lemminger.
Mark Lemminger evens his Bellator MMA record at 2-2, picking up his 6th victory via form of knockout, and he is going to talk to Josh Thompson.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Mark Lemminger. Look, you lost the takedown right off the bat, then you were able to scramble, get to the top position. It really was the control and the domination you have from the top that he started to slow down. Did you start to feel that going into that second round?
Yeah, I could. I mean, he's strong though. Yeah, he was slowing down, but he still felt pretty strong, you know. So I did what I did to control my position, you know.
In that second round, you could tell he was slowing down, but then when you got to that back position, can you walk me through how you finally got to the finish?
Yeah, I knew as soon as I got his back, I didn't make the same mistake I made last time I was in here. I put him belly down and got the stoppage. You know, I knew that's where it was going to end.
You're back on the win track now. Is there anybody else out there in that division you would like to fight?
Say that one more time.
I said you're back on that winning track again. Like, is there anybody else in this division you'd like to fight?
I mean, you guys all know I don't stray away from a fight, so give me a name. I'm not chasing anybody. I'm not running from anybody.
Great fight tonight. You guys give it up, Mark Lemminger.
Mark Lemminger owns a French bulldog, and he had that bulldog mentality with pinpoint precision in his striking as it leads to the TKO victory over DeMarquez Jackson to begin the proceedings here on the main card of Bellator 260.
Well, Mark Lemminger there getting it done tonight inside the Bellator cage, moving to 11-4. Great TKO victory tonight. Hey, guys, he said that he came in with something to prove. He did that as a way to kick off the night tonight, Josh, right now on Showtime, huh?
Yeah, he did a great job. It was the control. Yeah. It really came down to he never panicked when he was on bottom. When he got to the top position, he made sure that he did the more damage. And you could tell that Jackson was having a hard time with the fact that he wasn't able to absorb the strikes and able to get himself out of those positions.
It's the second time we've seen that tonight with the earlier fight with Alex Belize. Is exactly the same thing. The difference with being on top and actually being effective and controlling that position versus taking a good position but not being effective and then losing the position straight afterwards. So that's what the difference was in this fight.
Well, fantastic performance there from Mark Lemminger, moving to 2-2 inside the Bellator cage. Looking forward to seeing more from him later on down the road. All right, well, coming up later tonight, Yaroslav Amosov has never tasted defeat, and tonight he will put that perfect 25-0 record on the line in his quest to becoming world champion. He said he has been waiting for a very long time for the opportunity to prove that he is the best, and after tonight, he says there will be no question in anyone's mind. Well, standing in his way, of course, is the three-time world champ Douglas Lima, who has fought the who's who of the sport, and he looks to further solidify his legacy as one of the best that has ever been in the sport of MMA. It is a must-watch main event that is sure to have the fans on their feet tonight. Well, if you want to see some Bellator fights live and in person, head over to Bellator.com for info because we've got some great fights coming your way. Bellator returns June 25th for Bellator's first interim title fight to bridge the time that Ryan Bader is fighting in the light heavyweight tournament. The #1 heavyweight in the Bellator rankings, Tim Johnson, he meets the 10-1 Team Fedor standout Valentin Moldavsky. That is Friday, June 25th. And then on July 16th, the flyweight title is on the line. Miss Dynamite and #4 ranked Denise Kielholtz gets her shot at gold versus the champion and undefeated Juliana Velasquez. That is Friday, July 16th, only on Showtime. Well, up next, Aaron Pico comes in. He's riding a 3-fight win streak. He faces UK's own Aiden Lee. Josh, when Aaron Pico first came into the sport, he was touted as one of the best prospects on the planet. Lots of hype. Now, obviously, he's suffered some losses. He has improved and turned it around. Does he still have the potential to be the future world champ?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, like, he's somebody that one thing he doesn't shy away from his challenges and hard work. And that's all you really need to be a champion. And he has all of that. And once you realize he has that, he's already started fixing the issues that I've always had doubts about. Can you box and can you wrestle, but can you put them together? And he's been doing that now that he's been at Greg Jackson.
For me, the difference is, are you able to learn from what you have, you know, your negatives earlier on in your career? And he's 100% been doing that, and you can see from his last 3 fights. So he's definitely got the chance to go up there and actually hold that strap.
Well, we all had questions. We had questions whether he would be able to learn how to put the combinations together behind his wrestling, and that was always the thing that we had talked about. And now his mental mindset is always improving from fight to fight, and we've seen that over his last 2 performances. Dominant top positions and just dominant control, big knockouts, and getting his first submission.
Well, we talked about that improvements. He has switched camps. He's got a new manager. He talked about that with us. That mindset, you could tell it when you see him. He's just so much more comfortable. Also, just the way he carries himself, but also inside the cage.
Yeah, he's extremely comfortable. He feels very good. He feels like he's matured. That's the biggest thing. Honestly, let's just cut to the chase. He's matured as a fighter. When he stepped into the cage for his first couple fights, he was 20 years old. What did we expect from him? Because he had so many accolades. But you can see from this position here, okay, when he hit Solo Hadley, he put him down to his back, utilized his wrestling to get him there, got to the back. Instead of worrying about just striking, he jumped on the neck and got him out of there. The John De Jesus fight, this fight wasn't going at all John De Jesus' way from the beginning of the bell, and that was something that most people expected to see more of from John De Jesus, was the kicking, the punching, the combinations, the threat of the knees. We didn't see any of that. Aaron Pico shut him down from the beginning to the end.
You know what? It's a tough fight though, this one. Aiden Lee's not going to be a walkover. So this is where I'm going to be excited to see him improve again against a tough opponent.
Well, let's talk about Aiden Lee because he comes in with that height, that reach advantage, something that you, Michael, know very much about. So how can he use that to his advantage tonight against a tough Aaron Pico?
You know what? Utilizing that reach is going to allow him to judge the distance, because it's the wrestling that he's going to be struggling with. If he allows him to close the distance, it's going to be a lot harder to sprawl on him and get back to his feet. But if he's able to utilize that distance, and he's got devastating kicks, a long reach, he's southpaw, that's going to make it a lot more awkward for him. Then, controlling that distance is going to allow him to potentially get a finish.
See, I would agree, but I would disagree a little bit. That southpaw position is going to leave Aaron Pico. It's going to make it easier for him to get that takedown, because that's how wrestlers normally go. But with Aiden Lee, though, I think I would give him the advantage on the ground. Aaron Pico, in terms of grappling, sure, he has a submission win, but that is not his forte. His forte right now is to box, get takedowns, and do vicious ground and pound and domination. But the thing with Aiden Lee, though, is he's long, he's lanky. If Pico leaves himself out of position for one moment, he can lock that triangle up, or he can get that guillotine at any moment with those long limbs. And that's something that he's got to be very careful, Aaron Pico does. And so that's the one thing that kind of concerns me about it.
I agree. He's got, I think he's got five submission wins, 4 rear naked. So it's a good fight. It's a great fight.
The one last thing I'm going to bring up is that wrestlers tend to dip their head when fighters leave their feet. And Aiden Lee doesn't have to really do anything except bring the knee up to his head.
Using that height and reach advantage. Well, he's definitely one thing. He's never fought anyone as explosive as Aaron Pico. It's going to be interesting to see how he reacts to that power. All right, we're going to have that answer here shortly. Let's get back to the fight action. Mauro, back down to you.
All right, Jen, thank you very much. The number 6 ranked featherweight Aaron Pico takes on Aiden Lee, the dynamic, explosive striker who has a flair for the dramatic.
Set now to make his way to the cage, Aiden Lee.
So yes, the 26-year-old Aiden Lee has more than half of his 9 wins due to submissions. But John, you and I talked about the fact that, yes, Aaron Pico, who his trainer Brandon Gibson told us pound for pound has maybe the most power he's ever experienced in the gym. But Aiden Lee, he's also known for his striking, although against a guy like Pico, is that the route you want to take?
Absolutely. You know, we talked with Aiden Lee, and he talked about his striking, and he also talked about wrestling with Aaron Pico, and you go, no, don't do that. There's levels to the game, and when it comes to the wrestling aspect, Aaron Pico is way above Aiden Lee, but Aiden's got great athletic ability. He is fast. He's got power in his hands. He's got power in his kicks. Don't match what that guy is best at. Do your thing and make him have to deal with you.
Currently on a 2-fight winning streak, coming off a first-round knockout of Jeremy Petley at Bellator Milan in September of last year, fighting for the first time in the United States.
Big run in the cage. And now, making his way, Aaron Pico.
Aaron Pico, still just 24, will turn 25 later this summer, will become a father for the first time later this summer. It really is Aaron Pico 2.0 after he reset, moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico, training now under the auspices of Jackson Wink, and is on a 3-fight win streak. And this guy, well, he's already told us he never wants to hear a judge's score.
He hasn't had a judge's score so far. And look, Aaron Pico started off in this sport. Everyone expected so much from him, and it was too much because he was not an MMA fighter. He was a fantastic wrestler. He was a good boxer. Now he's learning how to be an MMA fighter. He's learning the rhythms, and now he is becoming special.
He has the power in his hands to put anyone in the featherweight division down as we go to the numbers for this 145-pound matchup between Aaron Pico and Aiden Lee.
As simple as it gets. You look at this tail of tape. I've highlighted that age, 24 for Pico, Aiden Lee. These are both fighters of the future.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA from Mohegan Sun Arena now features 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Live on Showtime, we introduce the blue corner. At 6 foot, weighing in 145 pounds even, his professional record, 9 wins, 4 losses. From Birmingham, England, introducing Aiden Lee. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner at 5'8", weighing in 145 3/4 pounds. As a professional, 7 victories, 3 defeats, fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico by way of Whittier, California, Aaron Pico. In charge, your referee, Kevin McDonald.
Man in the middle, referee Kevin McDonald, as we get set for this featherweight fight here at the Mohegan Sun Arena. Aaron Pico looking to win his 4th straight, while Aiden Lee looks to make it 3 in a row. And we are underway. Pico in the red gloves, Aiden Lee in the blue gloves, and Lee will look to take advantage of the height and the reach already. Testing the waters with the kicks, and already Aaron Pico taking Lee down.
What a way to turn the corner on that takedown. Beautifully executed by Aaron Pico.
And Lee from the butterfly guard may look to elevate, but immediately it's Pico passing and back to their feet now as Pico looking to strike on the exit.
Outstanding job by Aiden Lee to get himself back to his feet. He did not settle for the position. That is very important.
Great connection, and there Pico putting it all together, but now it's Lee looking for the choke, and Pico immediately again, John, looking to move to side control. What a scramble. What a fight already. We are seeing everything already here.
Head position. Cross body. Cross body.
Man, that opening minute.
Climb up, climb up.
You're seeing that Aiden Lee's trying to push on the head. He's trying to slide his legs out. Aaron Pico needs to pick those legs up and drive him towards the fence, and now pick him back up and bring him back to the ground.
Relentless, Aaron.
They reset in the center of the cage, and again, Pico looks for the takedown, and again, Pico takes Lee down. Pico started wrestling at the age of 4, won titles in 3 wrestling disciplines, pursued the Olympics in 2016 as a 19-year-old in lieu of college wrestling.
Again, beautifully executed by Aaron Pico as far as what you're looking at. He allowed Aiden Lee to come in. Aiden throws his shots. He uses that to close the distance. No effort on the takedown. It's going to be important for Aiden Lee not to settle here, to work himself back to his feet like he's done recently.
Lee told us that no matter where the fight goes, that he is going to be in control. Well, Pico heating things up here in the opening round as Lee circling to his right. Pico looking to set him up with the 1-2. Continues to walk down and change his levels again, John.
And again, this is what I was talking about when Aiden was saying, oh, I'm going to wrestle with him. No, do not wrestle with him. You need to make this your fight. Your wrestling is not going to match his, and that's what Aaron Pico is showing right now. But Aiden Lee is working hard to get back to his feet. I love the fact that he's getting out of these situations. Well done by Aiden Lee.
And well done by Aaron Pico. The takedown right into side control, but again, the scramble by Lee. This time, Pico looking for the choke.
Looking at that anaconda choke right now. It's going to help if he can get that leg. Grab that leg and hold on to that leg with his legs. It'll help the power of the squeeze.
Pico has a rear naked choke, looking for his first victory via anaconda choke here in the first round against Aiden Lee.
He has that anaconda choke. Now it's gone. Nice job by Aiden Lee. If Aaron Pico was able to get that leg, it would have made a big difference in his ability to make that
rolling knee bar attempt there by Aiden Lee, who has never been submitted and was looking to deliver a Showtime kick on Showtime. Instead, he gets taken down again by Aaron Pico.
This is a damn wrestling clinic, Moral. Look at what's going on here. And those are not comfortable takedowns. He is getting slammed onto his back. All of that counts. It hurts.
Entertaining stuff here in the opening round between Aaron Pico and Aiden Lee. And again, Aiden Lee looking to roll out of harm's way. Now the butt screw position. Aaron Pico has to be careful for those up kicks.
Nicely landed right hand.
Elbows from side control. Ground and pound by Aaron Pico with less than a minute left here in the opening round.
And both of these guys are putting out so much effort and energy right now. Going back to that anaconda choke.
Right leg over.
Now he gets that. Now he's got to get that leg in him. Let's go of it. Nice job by Aiden Lee. He rolls through. Aaron Pico staying on top. Both guys slowing down a little bit. There's been a ton of energy going in.
Fantastic opening round between Aaron Pico and Aiden Lee.
Beautiful sliding elbow by Aaron Pico.
These guys are young. They started training really early. They are part of the next generation of MMA. And a fantastic start to this opening round as Aaron Pico again moves into side control, looking for the armbar.
Just pass. Leg for the arm. Gotta love the fact that he went.
And now for the ankle.
He's been working out with Marcin Held, working on leg locks.
He knows all about those lower submissions. What a round between Aaron Pico and Aiden Lee. The kids are all right, John.
You want to talk about a round of MMA. My God, that was fantastic. Here's Pico picking him up. Look at the slam. Boom, right down on the middle of his back. He did this continuously throughout the round. Aiden Lee making a big move. Picks him up, drops him down. Here comes your armbar attempt. Nope, this is when he goes to the anaconda choke. And the big difference here, he wasn't able to get a hold of that leg to bring him closer to make that head bend into his body.
Yes, 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 yes.
This is that pass into the armbar. Nice job by both men.
Cool as you like because he is slick with it. My goodness, what a start to this featherweight fight between Aaron Pico and Aiden Lee. And Lee did suffer a cut over the left eye in the eyebrow region, and he hopes that that will not become something that he will be concerned about as he immediately attacks the lead leg with a calf kick.
Take a look at these stats for takedowns. 6 for 6 by Aaron Pico. That is just amazing. His ground control time, 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Oh, but momentarily bothered by that strike as again Pico's able to dump lead for his 7th takedown, batting 1,000 into side control. And as the fight progresses, will Lee have the same explosive energy, John, to escape and create scrambles?
And that is the question, because, man, he has been putting out a ton of energy, but he's been doing a fantastic job. But one thing we know about Aaron Pico, and it comes from all the coaches, that this guy works. He does not get tired in the gym. He is a machine, so he can maintain this pace. The question is, can Aiden Lee?
And he continues to grow and mature again. A fighter who's still just 24 years of age, has really established a solid base in Albuquerque, New Mexico, as he and his girlfriend, expecting their first child, spends time either in the gym or with his 2 horses. And Aaron Pico really looking impressive here in the first round and 90 seconds of the second. The butterfly guard again from Lee, but unable to elevate.
Yeah, but that's a nice use of the butterfly guard, because it at least makes Aaron Pico have to respect the fact that he can reverse the position or push him off or go for a submission if he's got that closed guard.
And passes right into north side position. We're hearing from the fans back here in the stands, and we're hearing from the fans on Twitter as well. And a fan very impressed with Aaron Pico's all-around game as he goes to the body, and then another takedown. Is that number 8?
It's number 8, and he can do this all day long, but it was a beautiful left hook to the body that set up that takedown.
We've talked about Aaron Pico. We know the accolades, all the hype, the incredible wrestling, the incredible boxing, the ability to put it all together. We are seeing that manifest here in this fight, John.
Yeah, and notice that he's taking it. What he's doing in the fight is he's keeping himself out of danger. He's not allowing Aiden Lee to put him in bad situations. He's the one that's controlling where this fight's going to be.
And again,
what is that?
Looking for that anaconda choke.
Getting tight.
Will the third time be the harm for Aiden Lee? Pico looking for the squeeze.
Hey, what he needs to look for is to grab the leg. The leg is going to be able to make that body start to compress on its own.
And the fight IQ of Aaron Pico continuing to be on display, although he partially ate that up kick. Has to be careful as he enters going into side control, John.
But the one thing that I'm seeing out of Aaron Pico right now, Morrow, he's having fun.
Wow, is he putting on a clinic?
He is putting on a clinic, and he's the one that's in control. There's no doubt that he's the one running this race.
And showcasing his diverse offense, moving with Aiden Lee back into the close guard, and Lee, who has had to try to, has weathered the storm like a parka thus far, but at what cost to his gas tank, John?
I'll tell you what, know that Aiden Lee came prepared, because he has put out a ton of energy and effort in stopping what Aaron Pico has been doing. That's why now all of a sudden you're seeing him go to close guard. He's got to grab a breath.
And we joke about the fact that Aaron Pico doesn't want to go to the judges. Right now, this is the longest amount of time that he's ever spent in the cage. And these are moments, and as every second goes by, that we are seeing his continued growth and the necessary experience, John, that he needs.
Take a look. Beautiful right hand shoot through. He's not even breathing hard right now, Moore. All of this output, and he's not breathing hard.
Under 30 seconds left. Knee on belly into the full mount by Aaron Pico, the number 6 ranked featherweight. Taking it to a game Aiden Lee, who's been on the receiving end of a plethora of Aaron Pico takedowns. It is all Aaron Pico here at Mohegan Sun Arena.
Take a look at Aaron Pico here. Watch that, just a beautiful timing. Drops levels, gets the takedown. Effortless in everything he's doing. Here he comes. Aiden Lee gets up. Beautiful left hook straight to the solar plex. Just outstanding job of continually putting different techniques together, putting him in danger, putting him in anaconda chokes here, different submission attempts. Aiden Lee having to work very hard. Look at the strain to try to get himself out of these positions. That is tight. Unbelievable work by
Aiden Lee has proven to be a survivor, as for the first time, Aaron Pico will see round number 3.
First time ever.
The bell, the third and final round. Aaron Pico in the red gloves. Aiden Lee spinning back kick in the blue gloves. And Lee now again, we talk about him being a dynamic, explosive striker who has had a flair for the dramatic. Well, he's going to need something dramatic as he continues to eat these punches and continues to get taken down by Aaron Pico.
Unbelievable left hand to the body by Aaron Pico has set this up. That hurt Aiden Lee. Right now I have Aaron Pico up 20-17. That was a 10-8 round the last round. He did so many different techniques, so much damage. Big submission attempts. Aiden Lee has got to finish this fight.
Lee going for the takedown. Thwarted by Pico. Lee on his back. Pico now in half guard as Lee tries to control his posture. The blood beginning to flow from the cut over Lee's left eye.
Oh, this is just a tidal wave that just keeps flowing. He can't stop what's occurring. Aaron Pico is just non-stop with different techniques, different submission attempts, big body shots.
Oh, man. Teeing up, attacking the rib cage from north-south position. Lee in a turtle position. Chris Cyborg, the defending featherweight champion, giving flowers to Aaron Pico. He is turning in a monster performance, and now again looking for the anaconda choke.
He might get it now just based upon Aiden Lee being tired.
And Aiden Lee forced to tap Aaron Pico with a masterpiece here tonight as he records his 8th victory and picks up his first via anaconda choke. The move to Albuquerque, New Mexico has served this young man well.
What a job that Greg Jackson, Mike Winkle, John Brandon, Six Gun Gibson. What a job they've done in changing the attitude, the mentality of what fighting should be with Aaron Pico.
Pico looked like Picasso on the canvas here tonight.
What?
And he set it up with his strikes.
He did. Set it up again, that left hand to the body. You can see that left hand hurt Aiden. Then comes right back with another one once he's on the canvas. Hits him with the right hand. That's a hard shot. And then he just gets to the point with knees. And, look, a knee like this to the body.
Kevin Randleman-esque.
Oh, my ribs are hurting right now just sitting here, and that just kills me to watch that. That is an amazing performance. You can see that's why Aiden Lee is moving. He can't take that, puts himself right back into the anaconda, and this time, based upon all of the damage that he has done and the effort, it's too much. He has to tap out.
Chris Cyborg called him a monster. Kevin the Monster Randleman made those kind of knee strikes famous in Pride Fighting Championships. Aaron Pico's stock continues to rise. A scintillating performance here tonight to make it 4 straight wins.
Fantastic performance. You cannot ask for anything more.
So Aiden Lee sees his 2-fight win streak snapped, losing his American debut. Put up a valiant effort, John, but Aaron Pico, dare I say, would have been a handful for almost anyone at 145 tonight.
Again, you cannot say anything but good things about Aiden Lee and what he did. It was just a tidal wave that just never stopped.
Let's make it official with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end. The tap by way of the Anaconda choke, officially 1 minute 33 seconds, round number 3 by submission. Aaron Pico.
A virtuoso performance for 24-year-old Papa-to-be Aaron Pico. What a fantastic display of skills, and he is standing by with Josh Thompson.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Aaron Pico. What a performance. Dominant performance. Was this your best performance you've had in this Bellator cage?
No, first of all, I want to say thank you to Aiden Lee for fighting me. I know there's a lot of guys in the top 10 that don't want to fight, so he's a warrior. First of all, I just got to make some slight adjustments. I'm going to keep my head held high. My team and I put in a lot of work, but I feel like I could have done a little bit better. But you know what? Thank God I have no injuries. I can fight next month if I needed to. And I just want to say thank you to all the fans coming out. I'm so happy you guys are here.
We saw the most well-rounded Aaron Pico we've seen tonight since you've moved to Jackson Wings also, and just the great job they've done with you there. But we saw submissions from you. We saw the wrestling that you come in with, the boxing, the body shots.
Yeah.
I mean, how much do you attribute to how much they put your team together behind you?
Honestly, the coaches call me their little brother, and they're my big brothers, and I look up to them. I respect them immensely, and Albuquerque's a great place. Of course, California, it always has my heart. I was born and raised in Whittier, California. Shout out to them, but I've met a lot of good friends in Albuquerque. I don't consider them friends. I consider them family, and it's a culmination of the gym, the people outside. Albuquerque's a great place, and I'm enjoying life. Honestly, I am.
Well, with this performance you've had tonight, the sky's the limit. But you said that a lot of guys in the top 10 are refusing to fight you. Yeah. Talk to me about who would you like to fight next?
I'll fight anybody in the top 10, honestly. I'll fight Adam Borgs. I'll fight anybody, honestly. I feel I'm ready. I'm ready mentally and physically. But I'm sorry I didn't get the knockout tonight, but I'm happy with the submission. Thank you guys for all coming, and thank God I'm healthy. Shout out to my girlfriend Kylie, who's back home. She's pregnant, and we're expecting a boy in August, and thank God I'm praying for a healthy baby, inshallah.
Congratulations on your dominant performance, Aaron Pico.
Aaron Pico would love to run it back with Zach Freeman, Henry Corrales, and Adam Borge, the 3 fighters who have handed him defeats. But, John, Brandon Gibson told me before the fight, get ready for the best Aaron Pico you've ever seen. Good to know that Brandon Gibson's an honest man.
He's an honest man, and he's a great coach. And this is what we knew Aaron Pico could do. But it took coaches that made him understand how to fight. There's rhythms to it. There's a pacing, and you don't have to win every second of the round. You just have to win the round, win the fight, and that's what he's doing.
4 straight wins for Aaron Pico. Let's go back to Jen Brown.
Well, Pico showcasing all of his tools there in the toolbox. A phenomenal performance. Aaron Pico, no denying, he's the real deal, Josh.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And Aaron Pico is that exact person. He's somebody that comes out, trains his butt off every single day, and just has ingrained himself into this lifestyle. He did it in wrestling, he was doing it in boxing when he was a young age, and now he's doing it in MMA. I honestly have said, the questions need to be answered. He's answered all of them since he's moved to Jackson Wings.
You know what? The hard work definitely shows when you're in that cage, and much respect to him on that way. That was non-stop work. Aiden didn't make it easy for him in terms of a lesser man could have just said, you know what, I'm done in the first round. but he kept pushing, kept standing back up and made it a fight for him. But it was good to see him keep pushing forward and working for that.
I enjoyed watching both of your reactions as you watched the fight. It was almost as entertaining. It was a fantastic fight. All right, well, Showtime Sports is delivering a rapid-fire series of events this June that you are not going to want to miss. Saturday the 19th, a WBC middleweight title bout between the undefeated champ Jermall Charlo and knockout specialist Juan Macias Montiel. And the weekend of the 25th, Showtime Sports takes over your TV because on Friday, Bellator's Tim Johnson faces Valentin Moldavsky for the heavyweight interim title. And then on Saturday, Showtime has a huge pay-per-view card. Superstar Gervonta Davis looks to become a 3-division world champion when he faces the undefeated super lightweight champ Mario Barrios. That's on Showtime pay-per-view. But coming up next, we have got the number 6 ranked Paul Daley. He's going to face the number 3 ranked Jason Jackson for a fight that is sure to deliver fireworks. Now, when we talk about Paul Daley's, we talk about his knockout power all the time, guys. He's got 34 knockouts to his resume. Michael, you were in the cage with him for 5 rounds. You didn't feel that knockout power, but you know what it's like to go in with a guy who has that. And talk about the mindset of how that can affect fighters, just knowing the power he possesses.
If you go into that fight worried about that power, it will make you second guess yourself. You will become hesitant. You know, you won't throw the shots that you want to throw. You won't go for any takedowns. It leaves you very defensive and leaves you in the firing line. That's definitely not where you want to be standing in front of Paul Daley.
Yeah, you guys are at home watching his highlights. He possesses the power, not just in his right hand, but he's famous for his left hook. His power in his left hook is just vicious, and you can see as he landed in his last fight against Homasi. In that fight, he had got rocked and hurt himself in the first round, and then he comes back and gets the finish. He finished extremely hard at the end of that first round. Went into the second round and delivered a huge left hook for the knockout blow. Look, Paul Daley possesses all the tools. People talk about, oh, he's just a stand-up guy. No, he's a black belt now in jiu-jitsu as well, but he just never uses it because he loves to throw hands.
He says his BJJ coach says that he doesn't feel like he gives him enough credit because he never gets to show what he can do on the ground. Well, his opponent tonight is a very tough Jason Jackson. He's long, he's rangy. We talked about earlier what he was able to do against Neiman Gracie on the ground. So how does he get the win tonight, Josh?
I mean, realistically, he just got to make it an MMA fight. If he makes it an MMA fight, he's got a good chance. What I come down with Jason Jackson is this. He uses the long jab, sticks and moves. Make sure he never stays directly in front of Paul Daley, and he's got a great chance of having a successful night. He's got to mix it up, though. As you can see with Benson Henderson here, he throws to the head, then he comes down low with the bottom, then he came with the spinning back fist. He does everything very well. And then his last fight against Neiman Gracie, he stuffs the takedown on him, steps to the outside, big lift, big double under hooks, takedown. He's so well-rounded now and does such a great job of mixing it up, keeping his opponents guessing. And if he can do that against Paul Daley, I think he's going to have a lot of success.
No, definitely, I agree completely. I feel like if he does make it an MMA fight, he definitely wins this fight. It means a 3-round grueling fight because Paul Daley's he's not going to walk out easy. He's going to make it as difficult as possible. He's not going to give up. As you saw in his last fight, he got rocked and was able to come back. But if Jason Jackson, as you say, doesn't stand in front of him, keeps him guessing, and keeps a bit of pressure on him, puts him on his back foot, it takes the power out of his left hand, he can definitely take this fight.
Well, he said this week that he hopes a dominant performance will put him in the top to be the next challenger. Of course, that means he would have to leapfrog the guy over there sitting in the number 2 spot. Can he get it done tonight? Well, it's time to find out. Mauro, back over to you.
All right, Jen, thank you very much. Number 6 ranked welterweight Paul Daley against number 3 ranked welterweight Jason Jackson. They are meeting at 175 pounds. It is time to light the fuse.
Jason, the ass-kicking machine, Jackson.
Oh! I mean, Kunamoto's head popped back like a Pez dispenser, John. Looking for the big slam. Oh!
Amplitude, elevation, impact.
Huge right hand. Looking to finish the fight. Right here, right now.
Courtesy of Jason Jackson.
Stay standing with me, you get knocked the fuck out. Simple as that.
And it's all over.
And that's the power of Paul Daley.
He earned the name Semtex for a reason.
Paul Daley detonates the left hook on the red block and space.
Oh! A spectacular finish as promised.
Pico said, knock you out.
Ready now to make his way to the cage, Jason, the ass-kicking Machine Jackson.
'30-year-old Jason Jackson, always training, continuing to build confidence, an athletic and cerebral fighter who has authored a 4-fight win streak. And he has faced some high-quality operators in Kiichi Kunamoto, Jordan Meehan, Benson Henderson, and in his last fight, yes, a bizarre outing against Nyman Gracie where Jackson caught his eye on the cage.
Yeah, and rubbed his eyeball into the cage, which caused a problem.
And yet, here's a guy who would love to smoke Paul Daley like a Rasta, but do you want to hook with a hooker?
No, you do not. You fight your fight. You fight long. You fight tall. You use that jab. And if given the opportunity, use the takedowns that you actually have in your repertoire to put him on his back, create problems. That's the way Jason Jackson gets this fight done.
He knows that Daley has those, well, the best left hook in MMA. Let's just state the fact, and he knows he's explosive, but as you know, John Jackson will try to just take him out of his game. And you know, at this stage of his career, Jason Jackson is knocking on the door. A win here, yes, it's taking place at 175 pounds, but when you look at the level of competition he's faced, he would have to jump right into almost next.
Jason Jackson has made that leap into the upper echelon of the welterweight division. He can fight with anyone. It's a matter of just be who you are. Don't fight the other man's fight.
And again, our guest analyst who's doing a tremendous job, Michael Venom Page, he is also watching with vested interest. He, of course, wants to be welterweight king. And even though, again, a match taking place at 175, this has welterweight title implications.
Absolutely.
And now, Seth Paul Semtex Daley.
Pound for pound, one of the most electrifying, must-see fighters in MMA history, and Paul Semtex Daley showed why in his last scrap with Sabah Homasi. He continues to show at the age of 38 that he is one of the most dangerous strikers in the world, overcoming early adversity in that fight to record another thunderous victory, continues to add to his lengthy highlight reel.
Paul Daley is one of the most prolific knockout artists in the sport of MMA, no matter what weight class. When you're talking about the lower weight classes, you don't get guys that get a laundry list of knockouts. Paul Daley, Robbie Lawler, those are the guys you know they have dynamite in their hands, or excuse me, with Paul Daley, it's Semtex.
And the marathon that is Paul Daley's career continues. 34 knockouts. 43, 17, and 2. I remember back in 08, he was contemplating retirement. Here he is in the year 2021 on another run with 3 consecutive wins. And they say the power is the last to go. Well, his continues to be on point.
Absolutely.
All right, John. Our co-main event here at Bellator 260, contested at 175. What do the numbers tell you?
You know, the one thing I want you to look at more is you talked about it, 175. That is a catch weight. There is a weight class in unified rules, but it's a contracted weight here, and that is very important for Paul Daley. That extra 5 pounds that he gets to keep on makes a huge difference in his performance.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA now presents tonight's co-main event live on Showtime. We're set for 3 5-minute rounds at 175 pounds. And now first introducing the blue corner. At 6'1", weighing in 175 pounds even. As a professional, 14 wins, 4 losses. By way of Jamaica, he fights out of Deerfield Beach, Florida. The ass-kicking machine, Jason Jackson. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 5'9", he weighs in as well, 175 pounds even. Tonight, he brings an astounding veteran professional record with 43 victories, 17 defeats, 2 draws. From Nottingham, England, introducing Paul Sentes Daley. In charge, your referee, Blake Grice.
Blake Grice set to referee this battle at Bellator 260. Paul Sentes Daley with 19 first-round knockouts. The ass-kicking machine, Jason Jackson, has 4 first-round knockouts, although his previous 6 fights have gone to the judges. The bell in round 1, Daley in the red gloves, Jackson in the blue gloves. Daley representing the Spirit Dojo, fighting out of Nottingham, England. Jackson representing Sanford MMA, fighting out of Hollywood, Florida by way of Jamaica.
Very nice thought and good move by Jason Jackson to put Paul on his back foot up against the cage. You don't want Paul Daley coming forward on you.
So much at stake in this confrontation. Again, meeting 5 pounds north of 170, and Daley likes to quip that he is the 175-pound king. Of course, the only king in the region is Douglas Lima, who will defend the welterweight title against Yaroslav Amosov in the main event. A win here by either Daley or Jackson will move them 1 step closer. Oh, and Daley gets tagged with that 1-2 from Jackson through the guard.
Very clean, and that jab is what Jason Jackson wants to live off of. That jab will keep Paul Daley on his heels, keep him from being able to land the power. If Jason Jackson can make that an effective tool in this fight, he's got a very good chance of winning.
Daley told us that Jackson has a fighter's heart. He throws great straight punches. He's already found that out. Nice kicks, very athletic.
There's a nice straight right hand down the pipe by Jason Jackson.
But Daley says you've got to be dangerous, and he doesn't see Jason Jackson as dangerous.
Well, there have not been very many people that have hurt Paul Daley. In fact, there's only been 2 in his entire career that I've seen.
Nick Diaz and
Sabah
in his last fight. And there's that left hook from Daley.
In his 63rd fight, when there's only been 2 guys that have actually really hurt you at all in a fight, that's saying a lot about, well, you're not dangerous, you're not dangerous. Well, a guy puts enough shots on you, he becomes dangerous.
And thus far, Jackson staying at range. Daley, the veteran, going to the body with the jab. Another jab to the body, making that early investment.
And what Paul Daley is doing is he's taking what Jason Jackson's giving.
Oh, and Jackson shoots in and secures the takedown on Daley. Beautiful entry.
This is what we talked about with Jason Jackson. Be the complete mixed martial artist. When that opportunity arises without you using a lot of energy, you can take him down, beat him up, you put damage on him. This is very smart fighting by Jason Jackson.
Jackson, been watching Daley fight for years, says it's a dream come true to actually be in the cage with him, and he knows how much the psychological warfare is a big part of the fight game, and especially Paul Daley didn't want to give Daley any reason to engage in verbal warfare, and there is a lot of mutual respect, but right now Jackson in top position on Daley.
Figured, Jason Jackson, Daley is wrestling with guys like Logan Storley. He's got ground experts like Gilbert Burns who are putting him through his paces, so he's very comfortable on the ground. You look at what he did in his last fight against Nyman Gracie. just did an outstanding job of taking Nyman down at times. Paul looking towards that Kimura. He's going to make his jiu-jitsu coach very happy.
BJJ black belt says he would love to secure his first submission. One thing we know going into this fight was that Jackson couldn't be drawn into a brawl, and so he took it to where he would like to rain down some damage, but with 1:11 left in the opening round.
You can see that what Jason Jackson is doing is he's looping his arm into his leg and actually controlling that arm movement by the use of his body. Very smart defensive technique.
And Jackson delivering short elbow strikes to the side of Paul Daley's body under 1 minute left in the first.
Paul's going to have to make a very big movement. You can see that hand coming all the way through to the other side of his leg. He's going to have a tough time, and he's going to have to use a lot of power in trying to get it out, if that even works. Nice job of just letting it go.
Create some space. Create a little space. Keep moving. Keep moving. Hey, you got like 30 seconds.
Under 30 seconds left here in the opening round. Well, it's great to have the fans back in the stands. They are not appreciating the ground game, despite the fact that Jason Jackson doing exactly what he should be doing against one of the most devastating knockout artists in MMA history.
Smart fighting by Jason Jackson.
And we've come to the end of the first round, scheduled for 3 at 175 pounds. Well, last Sunday in the Sunshine State in Miami, social media sensation Logan Paul went 8 rounds with Floyd Money Mayweather in a boxing exhibition that was called the bragging rights. And here is your chance to see it for the first time or see it again.
Are you ready? Is you ready? We are ringside. Ooh, baby.
The biggest name in boxing.
This easy work right here.
Social media's most notorious star.
Are you nervous, Floyd?
When money meets Maverick, it's mayhem.
Why would you expect me?
I'm gonna fuck him up.
Relive Mayweather versus Paul.
You wanted a spectacle? You got it.
Followed by Inside Mayweather versus Paul Epilogue on Showtime.
The bell, round number 2 between Paul Daley in the red gloves, Jason Jackson in the blue gloves. And Jackson utilized his wrestling to take the fight to the canvas in that opening round. Lead left hook to the body by Daley, but he is eating strikes upstairs. Counterattack by Jackson.
He's trying to bring the hands of Jason Jackson down. He's going after that body, making Jason have to decide, am I going to protect my hand, or am I going to actually start to bring my hands down? Right now, Jason's doing a high guard.
Another counter right hand by Jackson, and we know that Paul Daley likes that flying knee attack.
Notice the difference when Paul Daley is coming forward.
And Jackson looking for the takedown.
Nice job of turning that corner by Jason Jackson. He got Paul Daley twisted around. That's why Paul ended up on his butt.
Second takedown employed by Jackson here. Opening minute of the second round. Rounding.
This is a very important moment for Paul Daley. He needs to keep that hand from being taken away. That you see Jason trying to reach for it so he can get back to his feet.
Who's never sounded so good? 90 seconds have elapsed here in the second round. Jackson on Paul Daley's back.
I love when corners yell, stand up, when it's just virtually impossible for their fighter to do it at that moment.
And there, Jason Jackson may have watched the Aaron Pico fight, also some long-range knee strikes.
Nice job by Paul Daley to get himself back to his feet, digs the underhook, that's smart. Now he's getting back to a 50-50 position. It's going to be very difficult for Jason Jackson with that underhook to try to get those hands together and lift him up. Nice job of Paul Daley digging that underhook, pulling him up. Again, that cage is now a third leg for Paul Daley. It's a big balance point. Nice job by Jason to actually pull him off, bounce him off of the cage. That's what allowed that takedown to occur.
Midway point of the second round and the fight. Jackson working from the closed guard of Paul Daley. Daley controlling Jackson's posture. He would love for the referee to stand these two up again. And he's doing a good job of neutralizing Jackson. Well, Jackson with an opportunity to posture, but he's just being heavy on top of Daley and not really doing much more than that.
Being heavy, what he's trying to do is see Paul going after that Kimura again. He's past that. Paul needs to be very careful. You go for that Kimura, he can pull you right over into an armbar.
Keep working it, Paul. Keep working it.
You got to have that leg for you to hold on to that Kimura. Nice tilt. You saw him trying to elevate with that.
Jackson moving to side control now, wants to neutralize the right arm of Daley.
That's it.
Daley continues to go fishing for that Kimura.
But it's a power move, and when you're Paul Daley in this position, you keep on trying to utilize that power move and all that strength. It burns a lot of energy.
Hammer fist from Jackson. Has to be careful, being warned by the referee. Keep the strikes away from the back of the head, but Jackson, his offense has been neutralized for the most part.
Well, that's because of that Kimura. You see him using his leg to try to break that Kimura grip.
Still has that right hand freeze.
His knee inside.
And good job by Daley to scramble. And now it's Daley in top position on Jackson.
Beautiful scramble.
Under a minute left in the round.
Control. Now you control. Do not get swept. Keep a tight head. You got 45 seconds, Paul.
And now it's Jackson neutralizing Daley from the bottom, so neither able to take advantage of top position.
He's got that underhook. That underhook's going to allow him to get up.
Scramble. Jackson able to try for the ankle pick. The body lock and the takedown on Daley.
Nice job by Jason Jackson. You saw him get his hands around the body. Again, turn that corner. Didn't just try to drive him back.
Just control the posture right now. Control. Take a breather.
Well, the fuse was lit, but it's been extinguished by the wrestling attacks as Jackson ends round 2 in top position on Paul Daley.
Cool. Right. We need this round. It don't mean you go out throwing jumping knees and shit, 'cause he's just going to take you down. Sharp work. You've got sharp work in you. Give me some deep breaths. Give me some deep breaths. Just slow that heart rate down. Bro, you've got fucking loads in the tank. You've got loads in the tank. You've got a sharp round in you. You have. You know you have. Tell me you have.
Yeah, I got it. Reacting now when you kind of get in the feint and he's throwing that big bomb. Don't get excited. Don't throw big. All you got to do is touch him, right? Just touch him. Just touch him. Right? You a jabbing machine, right? Yeah, you ain't got to try to knock him out with the jab. You just touch him and touch him and touch him. All right?
John, you like what you're hearing from the respective corners going into the round, the final round?
Absolutely. I think they're both telling their fighters exactly what they need to do in this fight. I think Paul right now is behind this fight. He's got to go after it. That's what his corner's telling him. And Jason Jackson's corner's telling him, just touch him. Don't worry about hitting him hard. Don't go for the knockout. Touch him.
Paul Daley's won 3 in a row. Jason Jackson has won 4 in a row. It's the third and final round. Daley in the red gloves, Jackson in the blue gloves. Jackson's corner wants him to continue to touch him with the jab. Our unofficial scorecard belongs to Big John McCarthy, who has Jackson pitching the shutout. But mixed martial arts, all it takes is one shot. Paul Semtex Daley possesses that shot.
Especially from Paul. Beautiful.
Outer right hand by Jackson that landed on the jaw of Paul Daley, and Daley moving forward now with the lead right.
Look at that kick. Look at that kick. It's sitting there.
Oh, and Jackson looking to time the takedown as it looked like Daley was about to launch an attack.
He was close to landing that. He dug deep with that left hook trying to get it in time. It just didn't happen for him.
We mentioned that For Jason Jackson, his previous 6 fights have gone to the judges, and it seems to be that he is content here to smother Daley, utilize his control from top position with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in the fight.
Hey, hold the wrist under his head. What's your wrist? Give me a chance, bro. Give me a chance. Let's get up. Let's get up. Look him up high.
Jason Jackson trying to just slowly keep pressure on hips to get that hook in. That was a nice job by Jason Jackson. Paul Daley not allowing him to get the back. Can look towards the head and arm triangle right now.
Watch the head and arm.
You hear the coach from Paul Daley's side, Kenny Johnson, saying, watch the head and arm.
2 minutes gone here in the final round. But from this top position, Jackson also has to continue to improve position and continue to send some striking in his way. It's controlling. It's not a dynamic offense.
Let us not get into he needs to improve position. He's in a fantastic position. What he needs to do is attempt to finish the fight.
And now from the closed guard, not much happening here on the ground with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fight. There are some strikes from Jackson from top position.
Get some control, and you need to work up. Whatever you need to do, you need to create some motion and get him up moving. Create some space, you need up. There it is, get
That's
up.
a big elbow strike by Jason Jackson. Fans are going to always want to see what we just saw with Aaron Pico and Aiden Lee. You're not going to get those fights that often because it takes special moments. What you're seeing with Jason Jackson is he is being smart. Good positioning and landing shots when he can.
Now in the half guard of Paul Daley, 1:45 left in the fight.
Take a look at that ground control difference right now. Somehow they have that backwards. It should be 23 seconds for Paul Daley and over 7 minutes for Jason Jackson.
Under a minute and a half remaining in the fight. Jackson looking to win his 5th straight, all against high-level opposition, moving himself into title contention. While Paul Daley,
Let's work, guys. Let's go.
wanting to, for now, make 175 his home. Well, tonight, Jason Jackson moved up 5 pounds, and referee is going to stand them up, much to the chagrin of Jason Jackson. John, do you agree?
Jason said, look, I'm going after him, I'm hitting, but it's not enough. If you're going to posture up and land big shots.
Under a minute left in the fight. Paul Daley coming forward. Seconds left. Daley looking for that flying knee, and Jason Jackson, as you mentioned, Big John, doing the smart thing, taking Daley off his feet, nullifying that explosive power.
He did exactly what he should have. Landed a good straight right hand right into the takedown. Jason Jackson is fighting a smart fight. You can't ask anything more from him.
We will go to the judges' scorecards in this 175-pound fight between Paul Daley, Jason Jackson. Mutual respect as we look at the replays.
A lot of people are not going to be happy because they want to see that, just that gunslinging battle. They want to see Paul Daley knock people down. But when you get someone like him, you've got to take him out of those positions to be successful. That's what Jason Jackson did with all of these takedowns. And look at it, turn the corner. Beautifully executed by Jason Jackson. Right here, lands a right hand right into the body lock, drives him back down. That is what we talk about, fight IQ. Great job by Jason Jackson.
Well, while we await the official decision, Bellator MMA is proud to share the screen with critically acclaimed premium entertainment. Let's see what's coming up on Showtime.
Say we were born with bullseyes on our backs and a black paradise on our childhood minds. Say we rise. 10 degrees below zero built us invincible. Say a mother's love was all that made this stolen life livable. Say 3 brothers against the world is a bond that can't be shattered. Say black love is persistence, is holy, is infinite, is the only thing that kept us alive.
Quitting Wall Street was like a blessing.
Technically, you were kicked off forever.
1, 2, 3.
We don't have to shift to get a hot pastrami on Ryan from Carnegie's up in here, okay?
Is this your office, Blair?
This is just temporary.
Oh my God, this is the office that people come to for.
That's insane.
It must be deep if they're not afraid to punch a
Politician.
I was gonna say a white boy.
I feel like we're making progress.
No, we're not. But I'm making money.
He's just an honest, struggling artist.
Don't say struggling, just say artist.
You're broke. Broke too.
Yeah, but you look broke.
What is this?
It's good for you, that's what it is.
We are proof that love is blind and catcalling works.
You still want a therapy?
All right, let's go to Michael C. Williams with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the judges' scorecards, all 3, Doug Crosby, Brian Miner, Dave Hagan, all have it exactly the same. At 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, the ass-kicking machine, Jason Jackson.
The surging Jason Jackson has won his 5th straight as he defuses Semtech's Paul Daley, snapping the veterans' 3-fight win streak, and Big John McCarthy as they pay respects to Jamaica. You sing the praises of a cerebral, smart fight by Jackson, and he remains in the title hunt because of it.
Look at this is about winning. This is about moving up in rank, and that is exactly what Jason Jackson did. Great performance.
Let's go to Josh Thompson.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Jason Jackson. Paul Daley as well is here. But look, there's a lot of, obviously, friendship between you guys. A lot of mutual respect. It's great to see, especially in our sport. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
It ain't easy for my end to do what we do, bro. Real talk, it's not easy.
Jason.
Hey, Connecticut. It's not easy to come out here and do what me and Paul Daley just did. We came out here, we fought our ass off.
Jason, you took the path that most people have to take against Paul Daley. Why was that?
What was that?
You took the path that most people have to fight against Paul Daley, but the takedown, the wrestling, and mixing it up.
Because I needed to prove to myself that I couldn't go in there and fight the champ. This guy went 5 rounds with Douglas Lima. So I knew if I get this opportunity to fight him, and I can go and fight the way I train, and to win, I know I can beat Douglas Lima, whoever the champ is.
Great fight, Jason Jackson. Paul, what was it like for you to prepare for someone like Jason Jackson?
You know, first of all, I want to give much respect to Jason Jackson. There's not a lot of fighters of character in this sport. And this guy's got real true character. So it's an honor almost in me to almost pass the torch on to another Jamaican that's going to handle business and take care of the championship. There's another guy not of much character that's out here, sat upstairs behind the desk, talking bare shit, doesn't know how to handle himself properly. That guy's a punk. You know what I'm talking about, MV bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Jackson, great performance tonight. Give it up, Jason Jackson.
Jason Jackson.
I want to give a shout out to my wife.
Giving
my
a
team,
shout out.
God, first of all.
To his wife.
Everybody that came out here.
God, his family, his supporters. Hey, he's won 5 straight. But I know that Michael Venom Page probably would like to respond to what he's just heard. So let's go to the fight desk.
Well, thanks, Mara. That's one of the great things, Michael, about being here at the desk is that you can get the last word. Any response there to what we just heard from Paul Daley?
The king of 175, I think not. And that's all I really have to say.
All right. Well, hey, that was a fantastic performance there from Jason Jackson, doing what he needed to do to get the win tonight over Paul Daley. We heard him say it's about moving up. He wants to, contend for the belt, and we look forward to seeing him back in the cage. All right, well, the time is finally here. Bellator welterweight gold is on the line. Douglas Lima, will defend his belt against Yaroslav Amosov. Let's talk the champ. He's explosive, you guys. He's got that one-punch knockout power. He's got those leg kicks. You have been in there with him. You have felt both of those. What makes him so effective, Michael?
He's very composed as a fighter. I'm a person that's used to frustrating my fighters, used to them seeing, pulling them out of their game plan, pulling them out of their confidence. With Douglas Lima, it's not that. Even when I felt like I had him in trouble and I rocked him, he still maintained his composure, and obviously we know the result.
Yeah, he's so composed, and what happens, though, is that Yaroslav Amosov's going to move around. He has a bounce in his step. But with Douglas Lima, he's going to do very similar to what Patricio does. So he just stands in the center of the cage, and like he was saying, he's very composed. If, boom, leg kicks come, then when the leg kicks, he's going to stand in front of him and settle you down. He starts opening up with the left hooks and the right hands. He just possesses the power in his whole body. And then also, when people think they're going to go in there and take him down, it's not there. He fought Gegard Mousasi. Gegard Mousasi is our champ at 185. He came in and did a great job of making Gegard Mousasi pay for standing in front of him with the leg kicks. Like you can see against Korshkov, big power to win the title back with the left hook. Boom. Like I said, he possesses power everywhere, and he's not the easiest guy to take down.
And it's the thing with those leg kicks, it really doesn't take more than one or two, and it can completely take a fighter out of his game. All right, well, let's talk about Amosov. He trains there at AT&T in California, in Florida. If you look at this list here, guys, of who he's training with, but look at their record. 49-0, Josh. That is so impressive. They say iron sharpens iron. Certainly does with these guys.
Well, like I said, though, also, his last 6 opponents, their record is 96-22.
Wow.
He's just been facing killers in there. But I will say this, though. His level of competition hasn't quite been the level of competition of Douglas Lima. He also hasn't fought rounds of 4 and 5 yet. He hasn't got to those championship rounds. But what he does do very well is he wrestles and he scrambles, and his punches and kicks come from different combinations. He does not a set fighter. He's not someone that punches or stays in one stance. He switches his stance as he punches. And like you'll see here with Rickles, he ends up getting to a position where he can finish the scars, and he gets in tight, and then when he locks it in nice and tight, he starts to finish. And when Rickles, when he fought Lemminger, who you fought earlier tonight, you saw earlier tonight, have a great performance when he got on top. There was never a moment where Lemminger was in that fight. And then when he got to Logan Storley, this was the biggest thing that I see in these things. He, out of every scramble, when Logan Storley was able to get a takedown, he was threatening a submission, whether it was a guillotine, whether it was a Darce, whether it was an Anaconda, whatever it was, he threatened the neck. He threatened that neck to make it easier for him to create a scramble to get back to his feet or scramble to get to the top position.
This is where I think he's going to be, pose massive danger to Douglas Lima in this fight. Is, as you say, he's great at chain wrestling. He'll probably get a few takedowns, but it's on, it's in the defensive of trying to stand back up where he can catch you in a submission, and that's what Douglas Lima needs to be careful of.
Yeah, the thing is, he walks around in the cage with a bounce in his step. But if Lima gets to his legs early in a 5-round fight, by rounds 2 and 3, we've seen this before, they're not the same fighter. And then that opens up the hands and the power of Douglas Lima. But Yaroslav Amosov could go ahead and mix this all up. If he's got to make it a scrambling type fight, he can have success.
Well, before we get down to it, Michael, I got to get a prediction. Who you've got your eyes on it. A lot of talk about you facing the winner of this fight. So who do you think is going to win tonight?
It's a very tough fight, and it's an exciting fight to watch. But for me, I'd have to put my chips in for Douglas Lima.
Wow, didn't even come to me. What am I, chopped liver? I see how it goes around.
He's the one that matters tonight, Josh. He's the one that matters. All right. Well, to lead us to this main event properly, here is the word wizard, Mauro Ranallo.
Well, thank you very much, Miss Jen Brown. As we get set, it doesn't get much better than a champion defending a title against an undefeated #1 contender. The Bellator Welterweight Championship up for grabs. Douglas Lima defending against Yaroslav Amosov.
Becoming a champion is hard, but it's even harder to stay champion. Just being able to overcome all the hardships, injuries, losses. I'm not here looking for an easy fight. I fought the biggest names. I've been to the top 3 times. But October 26, 2019, man, what a special day. Probably the most important day of my fighting career. Rematch, champion again, tournament champion, got gold on me, confettis, and I took home $1 million.
The belt belongs once again to Douglas Lima.
That's life-changing. You know, I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget it. That was the biggest payday that I've ever had in my career. You know, I love the fight game, but I love my family even more. You know, and there's nothing better, you know, to go on vacation, take him to a beach, take him to a different country after I win a fight. There's nothing like family.
My name is Yaroslav Amosov. I am #1 in welterweight in world. I have 25 wins and no losses. I won 26-0.
He's a very special guy and very soft-spoken, as humble as can be, but complete monster. One of the most skillful athletes that I've seen. As of right now, he has the best record in MMA, 25-0. It's impressive.
График 0 в поражении. Я не могу сказать. Я думаю, нужно тренироваться и верить в себя. Я думаю, основное это верить в себя и хорошо тренироваться.
I fought, you know, an undefeated guy before. You know, we all know what happened.
Michael Venom Page looking to remain undefeated. Douglas Lima wanting another crack at becoming welterweight champion.
To stay undefeated in this sport, it's difficult. You know, I don't care who you fought, it's hard. But it's also hard, you know, getting this belt back 3 times. So it doesn't matter if he's 100-0. You know, when he steps in that cage, if you're there against me, it's 0-0.
In impressive fashion.
Amosov, you know, his game, he's never lost. But yeah, it's the first time he's training for a 5-rounder. Not as easy as people think. You know, we're gonna find out how real, you know, 25-0 is.
Anybody can fight hard and win a fight in 2 minutes, but, you know, the real super studs can do it 15, 25 minutes. And this guy can do it 25 minutes hard. He's got that mentality, he'd rather die than lose.
Я готов к этому бою, я подготавливался, и наша команда работает. Соответственно, я понимаю, что Дуглас Лима так же само работает. Да, я имею 25 побед, я не проигрывал, не собираюсь этого делать.
It's one thing to be undefeated, but it's another to be a world champion. Sitting at that throne, holding that gold, you know, it just means a lot to me. Amosov hasn't fought anybody like me. I gotta put this guy out no matter what. You know, he's trying to take away from me a dream that I achieved. Expect fireworks, because I'm coming to finish this guy. And the belt is staying around my waist.
There will be a new welterweight champion. It's me, Yaroslav Amosov.
There I'm fighting for my family, but nothing beats the aftermath. You know, get a win, make a little bit of money, take my family out, play with my kids, and that's what I plan on doing after I beat Amosov.
Set now to make his way, the challenger, Yaroslav Dynamo Amosov.
The Ukraine has produced a plethora of boxing champions. The Klitschko brothers, Vladimir Vitaly at heavyweight, Vasily Lomachenko, Alexander Usyk, who is a friend of Yaroslav Amosov. But in MMA, well, the first big Ukrainian star was the knockout artist in Ukraine, pain train Igor Vovchampion. Won many tournaments, knocked out 41 opponents, never won a major title. Tonight, Yaroslav Amosov with the best record in MMA at 25-0, looks to become the first Ukrainian to become a champion for a major mixed martial arts promotion.
I will always say that Vovchampion was the prize champion. Even though it wasn't his title, he was the guy. But yes, you're right. Amosov has an opportunity to be the very first Ukrainian to win a major title. That is huge. His keys to victory in this fight is he needs to mix up his attack. Don't be one-dimensional, which usually he is not. Be all the way in or all the way out. If you get in that mid-range, you're going to start getting eaten up by Douglas Lima and his power.
The pride and joy of Irpin, Ukraine, a city of 60,000, and something tells me that that city will be watching tonight the biggest fight for a Ukrainian mixed martial artist. Yaroslav Amosov, the #1 contender, puts his undefeated streak on the line in search of championship glory.
And now, the reigning three-time Bellator welterweight world champion, Douglas "The Phenom" Lima.
Over the past decade, Douglas "The Phenom" Lima has become a cornerstone of Bellator MMA, now beginning his record third reign as champion. And yes, he dared to be great. Yes, he moved up to middleweight in his last fight, looking to fill the vacancy at middleweight, only to be outpointed by one of the best fighters in the sport, in Gegard Mousasi. Lima feels there's unfinished business at 185, but it is here tonight at welterweight where he wants to solidify his standing as one of the best 170-pounders on planet Earth.
You know, there's no doubt he's one of the best 170-pounders on Earth, but the big thing that when you're watching him again against Gegard Mousasi, that's a guy he watched his whole life. Sometimes guys don't know how good they are. Douglas Lima is now figuring out just how good he is. He is exceptional in all types of things, but his low leg kicks are huge, and his keys to victory are those low leg kicks need to happen plenty of times in this. You need to keep the pressure on Amosov and drag him into the later rounds. Those championship rounds are where you have been many times, and he has never been.
Douglas Lima has made it clear he steps into the cage each and every time, fighting for his family. His parents have been back in Brazil for the past 10 years. He would like to have them back here in America. And of course, he has by his side his loving wife, Jessica. As we go to the tail of the tape, there's the wife who will be watching tonight, looking for her husband to begin his third reign successfully, but he is in tough against the 25-0 Yaroslav Amosov. Here's the tail of the tape.
Tail of the tape, very simple. Look at that, 32-8 for Douglas Lima. 25-0. That is what makes Yaroslav Amosov special. When you get a championship fight with an undefeated challenger, it doesn't get much better than that.
The time has come for the Bellator 260 main event. Here once again is Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA live on Showtime with our fans back at Mohegan Sun Arena. The time has come for the main event of the evening. 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Welterweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation Chairman James Gessner, President of Sports and Entertainment Tom Cantone, and supervising at Cageside Director Mike Mazzulli. And now, introducing the blue corner. At 5'11", weighing in 170 pounds, in his first world title challenge, he enters undefeated with a professional record of 25-0. He hails from Irpin, Ukraine, introducing the challenger, Yaroslav "Dynamo" Amosov. And across the cage, the champion fights out of the red corner. At 6'1", weighing in 169 3/4 pounds, the three-time welterweight champion in his first defense after regaining the title tonight stands with 32 professional victories, 8 defeats. Fighting out of Atlanta, Georgia, by way of Goiás, Brazil, presenting the defending Bellator welterweight world champion, Douglas "The Phenom" Lima. And the referee in charge, Dan Mugliano.
All right, Douglas to the center. Real slow. All right, gentlemen. Been to the rules in the locker room. Want to obey my commands at all time. Want to protect yourselves at all time. Do you have any questions? Any questions? touch gloves, good luck to both of them.
Veteran referee Dan Mergliata will oversee the Bellator 260 main event for the welterweight championship. Douglas Lima looking to successfully defend the title, while Yaroslav Amosov hopes to become an undefeated Bellator MMA champion, the first major MMA champion from the Ukraine. They touch gloves, the champion Lima in the red gloves, the challenger Amosov in the blue gloves. And with Lima, everything he does, John, is explosive. He can knock anyone out with a single punch or kick. He really is a true don't blink kind of fighter.
He is. He's so explosive with his power. Big power in his right hand, left hand, and his kicks are devastating.
He has 14 first-round finishes. Amosov has 13 first-round finishes, and immediately Amosov attacking the lead leg with an inside calf kick.
Amosov has very good stand-up technique. He's very solid. He's very compact in what he does. He just doesn't possess the same power. So his way of approaching this is to put a lot of volume on Douglas Lima.
Limited attendance, looking to make it a championship fight atmosphere here at the Mohegan Sun Arena.
Amosov dealing Douglas Lima a little bit of his own medicine. That was a very nicely placed low cap kick.
Lima with the jab to the sternum area of Amosov. Both looking to collect data, test the waters, trying to determine rhythm. Build their timing. There's a nasty body kick. Master kicks a lot. Douglas Lima.
You can just see the power that he possesses in that kick, how fast it gets up on target.
Fluid jab from the champion. Two minutes have elapsed here in the opening round. Amosov circling to his left. Looks for the takedown and secures it against Lima, but Lima has worked on his takedown defense and has done well in that department.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that Amosov would get Lima down. The question is, can he hold him down? That's what he needs to do. If he can keep Douglas Lima's back on that canvas, that is a key to him winning.
And smart by Amosov to move him from the fence to the center of the cage.
Absolutely. Now he cannot use that as a leverage point and balance to get himself back up. One of the things that we've seen from Douglas Lima in a lot of his fights is when someone takes him down from the middle of the cage, because he's comfortable there with his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background, he will stay in that position. That is not a smart thing for him to do with Amosov.
Lima, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt with 10 submissions. Amosov began training combat sambo at 15, won the world championships 4 times. Under 2 minutes left here in the first.
Amosov did a very nice job of actually lacing Douglas Lima's arm behind his back. Had the ability to try to open up. Douglas Lima was able to get it free.
Lima trying to control Amosov's posture. Right hand to the body, followed by a right hand upstairs. Referee warning Amosov for punching back to the head. Coming up on the final minute of the first round, the main event for the Bellator welterweight crown.
See, in my opinion right now, Douglas Lima, look at, he's almost going into a body triangle. That's a horrible thing to do. You're holding that man on top of you. Put the feet on the hips, get to a butterfly guard, make it to where he has to actually hold on to the position. You don't want it to where you're holding him there.
Crowd in attendance cheering on the Bellator welterweight champion, Douglas Lima.
Nice little slicing elbow inside by Lima, but not enough, man. He's got to figure you're losing this round, so you're giving him that first round because you just locked him into your guard and held him in place.
Amosov using his takedown techniques to take round one.
Here's the takedown attempt by Amosov. Goes to the single leg, switches it into that double, drives him over. Look at where his head placement is. And then it was when Douglas Lima tried to get back. It was the intelligence of Amosov to pick him up off of that cage, turn him towards the center of the cage, and drop him back down. Very smart move by Yaroslav Amosov.
Amosov supporters in attendance, exhorting the Ukraine challenger as we begin round number 2. We talked about Amosov needing to manage the pace. Well, he was able to definitely dictate the pace on the ground there in the latter stages of the opening round, controlling the champion.
One of the things that he was very successful in was limiting the ability for Douglas Lima to land that low calf kick.
Amosov active, moving, utilizing footwork. And you know, coming off losses, and Lima outpointed by Gegard Mousasi in his attempt to become a simultaneous two-division champion. He's always stormed back during his Bellator tenure with a vengeance. And here, in the opening plus minute of round 2, a still methodical, tentative champion Douglas Lima. As you mentioned, John, yet to see much in terms of the leg kicks, but Yaroslav Amosov.
There's a little bit of a step alteration with Amosov.
Yes.
He rolled that left ankle at one point. He hasn't really made a whole lot of motion about it, but in rolling that ankle, I'm wondering if he did a little damage to it.
Yet he's still very much more active in footwork other than the champion, and lands there with the combination.
One of the things that happens when you're the guy with a lot of power, a lot of knockouts, you tend to sometimes then just look for that one big shot.
And meanwhile, Amosov looking for a different kind of shot, looking to secure the takedown.
He's got it. Nice body lock takedown by Amosov. And again, this is where Douglas Lima cannot just allow this position to stay. He needs to work himself back to his feet, work towards either a reversal, work towards a submission. Do not settle.
The midpoint of the second round, and Amosov in the half guard of the champion Douglas Lima.
Amosov pitching down on that right leg of Douglas Lima. He's holding him in that half guard. He can sit here all day long. And this one we're talking about, you know, is he going to get tired going into later rounds? Not doing what he's doing.
Right.
This is a comfortable thing. He can do this all day long.
One way to manage the pace, right, John?
Absolutely.
Under 2 minutes left here in the second round. And Douglas Lima, the dynamic Bellator welterweight champion, unable to get on track. thanks to the proficient takedowns of Yaroslav Amosov.
You're going to see Douglas Lima needs to take that right leg and get his right leg free from Amosov sliding it up. He needs to post an arm and slide that leg in, get to his knee to help him get back to his feet.
Slashing elbow strike by Amosov with Lima's seated against the fence.
Saw that little movement that Douglas Lima made. That allowed his leg to get flat to the ground. Now he has the ability to get back to his feet. He's got to work hard to get there. Amosov's got both legs, brings him right back down.
Final minute of the second round. And the Bellator welterweight champion Douglas Lima has been thus far neutralized by the challenger.
Nice job of figure four in the legs by Amosov. He's keeping those legs up in the air. With those legs up in the air, Douglas Lima is going nowhere.
Agora tem que brigar, vamos. Agora tem que brigar. Na mão, levanta. Na mão, levanta. Aí. Machuca ele. Aí. Machuca ele aí. Boa. Tira. Não deixa fechar.
Final 30 seconds. Lima back up on his feet. Amosov with his back delivers a knee strike to the back of Lima's left leg.
Lima working the hands, trying to break that grip. Nice job by Amosov to suck his hips down low, get into him. Little tiny differences in the technique. Amosov being very successful. He's holding on to Douglas Lima.
Calma, meu irmão, vambora. Olha só.
Aceitar não, vai aceitar.
Exatamente, exatamente. Porra.
Bateu no chão, levantou, meu irmão.
E outra.
Он нихуя не делает, поднимай, понял? Вот, поэтому контролирует. Ловил. Смотри, где рефери, расслабься. Где рефери, смотри, все, давай папу я сполосну. Как ты дышишь? Нормально, да? Все, ну смотри.
Here's the work by Amosov. Goes to that single leg again, runs that pipe, goes back to the double, gets the body lock, drives him up, picks him up, brings him down in the center of the cage. Very nice work by Amosov.
Ready? Ready? Turn around. Let's go.
Bell, round number 3. Douglas Lima became a 3-time welterweight champion, winning the Bellator MMA Welterweight World Grand Prix, recapturing the title from Roy McDonald in their rematch. Again, that was back in October of 2019, making the first defense of his third title reign here tonight against Yaroslav Amosov. And Douglas Lima, I would venture to guess, is behind on your unofficial scorecard.
Oh, he's absolutely behind. He's down 2 rounds to nothing. He has to get some sense of urgency, not a ton. But look, if you're going to go to the judges' scorecards on this, you got to win all the rounds coming up. You've only got 3 left, and you've got to start putting shots on him that are going to break him down. The one shot is not going to get rid of someone as good as Amosov.
Amosov outlanding the champion 2-1 in strikes. And there's that high kick by the champion Lima that sends Amosov moving to his right. Lima unable to pull the trigger as often as we've seen him, John.
Well, he keeps on looking for that big shot. It's, you know, instead of just going after him and touching him, he's looking for that clean shot. There's that low calf kick. That can pay dividends in these rounds as they start to pile up.
90 seconds gone here in the third. Of course, regardless of who wins, the big winner tonight, American top team. The ship starts by, of course, Dan Lambert as Amosov looks for the takedown. As we have Yaroslav Amosov, representing the head gym in Coconut Creek, of course, Lima, American top team, Team Lima in Atlanta.
See Amosov try to step across to pick him up. There you go.
Lima tried to post and ends up on his back.
You're right, American top team, be it either in Coconut Creek or in Atlanta. But this is a big moment right now.
And Lima's doing the same thing, John, that you didn't like in that opening round.
I hate that body triangle, keeping someone in your guard. Body triangles are meant when you have their back. Do not hold someone in that position. You're not going to win the round. You're not going to do any submissions out of that position. Open up your guard and create problems for your opponent.
We've seen Vadim Nemkov emerge from Eastern Europe to become the Bellator MMA light heavyweight champion, defending the title in the semifinals of the light heavyweight World Grand Prix. But here tonight, Ukraine's Yaroslav Amosov, doing what he set out to do, continues to take down the Bellator welterweight champion and keep Lima on his back.
Using all of that skill set that he's acquired over the years, that beautiful wrestling technique that he has, his stand-up everything, just to and you look at that right there. If you go back and you look, he's starting to throw. Douglas Lima's the one that turned his head. So it's not that Yaroslav Amosov is trying to foul.
All right? Watch the back of the head. You all right? All right, ready? Let's go. Fight.
Look where Yaroslav's aiming. He has no idea where Douglas Lima is turning his head. His head is looking down in the middle of Douglas Lima's chest. Referee should warn him in that situation to take him out of the position, penalize him, something that he has no idea it did.
Final minute of the third round, and Douglas Lima needs to ratchet up the offense. And there's that calf kick to the lead leg of Amosov on cue.
Nice check right there by Douglas Lima.
And there's the right hand from the champion. 30 seconds left before we head to the championship rounds in tonight's Bellator 260 main event. And Douglas Lima's championship medal will be tested here. Flashes the jab, but no follow-up, no combinations. There's a body kick by the champion. All single shots, all pot shotting. We are headed to the championship rounds. And Yaroslav Amosov has to be liking the view from where he is at this juncture.
One guy out. Out. I don't care who. One guy has to leave. You hear me? One guy has to leave. Come on. One guy out.
Entendeu? Se ele tiver grudado em você, você não pode deixar ele fechar a mão. Você defendeu a primeira queda, mas você foi bater, ele fechou a mão e te derrubou. Entendeu? Tá juntando, não deixa ele juntar. Acabou, meu irmão. Vambora, pensa pra frente. Olha só, não, agora você vai fazer a mesma coisa que você tá fazendo no final do round pra cá. Porra, fecha a distância. Não só...
The championship rounds are upon us here at Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. The Bellator Welterweight Championship up for grabs. The champion, Douglas Lima, in the first title defense of his record third reign. The challenger, the 25-0, Yaroslav Amosov. And as we head into the championship rounds, our unofficial score, Big John McCarthy has the champion behind.
I have him way behind him. Look, he came on at the end of that third round, but it wasn't enough to take the round. He had lost most of it by keeping himself locked in a guard position on the ground. He's got to do more. He's got to start just bringing that pace, that output. It's got to start to intensify.
That time, Lima able to thwart the takedown attempt past the underhook, says looking to swallow up the champion along the fence, trying to bring him down again. This time, Lima defending.
He's defending well with that wizard. See Amosov trying to pick him up. He's got him up and over. Nice job by Douglas Lima getting the hand down to the ground, got himself back to his feet. You should use that wizard to put a lot of pressure down on Amosov's shoulder.
Combat Sambo champion looking to take Lima down, laces the leg momentarily. They jockey for position, and the takedown secured into the close guard of the champion.
For a guy that never wrestled competitively, Amosov is amazing as far as the way he chains his techniques together in his takedowns. Just beautiful technique.
Short hammer fist from Amosov, trying to stay busy while in the close guard of the champion, Douglas Lima.
And we've seen this so many times more with Douglas Lima, and the fact that, you know, think about his first title loss to Rory McDonald, where he had Rory in the last couple of rounds. He was eating Rory up. In the 5th round, Rory desperately gets a takedown, and Douglas stayed on his back for most of that round, lost that round, and lost the fight because of it, and it's happening to him again in this match.
And thus far, Douglas Lima losing in every facet of this fight. And I know the numbers don't tell the whole story, but Yaroslav Amosov, complete control on the ground. Dominant in the takedown department and continues to outstrike one of the most noted strikers in MMA.
And again, you're looking at what Amosov is doing. It's work.
Yeah, he's taking away the champion's strength like you're supposed to.
And that's what you're supposed to do.
Under 2 minutes left in the penultimate round.
Carnero in the corner of Douglas Lima. He needs to light a fire under his fighter. He needs to tell him, man, I need you to go out with everything you have. I need you to get rid of this guy, because if he does not, I see him losing his title tonight.
90 seconds left in the 4th.
Nice slicing elbow by Amosov.
Amosov told us that he moves very well. He can take anyone down to the canvas. And, well, he is proving that here tonight in a big way. A total of 8 takedowns.
I can tell you, I used to talk with Brian Stan, just an outstanding person, outstanding MMA fighter. He used to train with Douglas Lima all the time, and he hated wrestling with Douglas Lima because he said he was so hard to take down. Well, Yaroslav Amosov has found the way to do that.
Let me correct myself. He's attempted 8 takedowns. He's completed half, still 4 takedowns. And that has been the story of this championship fight.
It has. And again, Douglas Lima allowing himself to stay in this position with no... You've got to give the judges something. You've got to go after submissions. You've got to go after, reversals. He's not doing anything that's going to tell the judge, I'm trying to win this fight. This is all defense.
The challenger, Yaroslav Amosov, continues to keep the champion Douglas Lima on his back. 5th and final round straight ahead. Well, coming up Friday, June 25th, the #1 heavyweight of the Bellator rankings, Tim Johnson, will take on the 10-1 Team Fedor standout, Valentin Moldavsky, for the interim heavyweight title. Friday, June 25th, Bellator MMA on Showtime. And right now, the Bellator MMA welterweight title appears to be slipping through the grasp of Douglas Lima.
Cerca ele na distância, vem ligado nessa queda, você tá defendendo bem. Quando a gente levanta, quando ele tá tirando teu pé do chão para te derrubar. Esgrima, pesa, entendeu? Lembra aquela...
Смотри, он опять лежит и на рефери, блядь, требует.
My opinion, Yaroslav Amosov is 5 minutes away from being the first Ukrainian world champion in MMA.
Final round, gentlemen, final round.
The fifth and final round, they touch gloves. Douglas Lima has to do a better job of using his gloves to touch the challenger, Yaroslav Amosov, who has utilized his wrestling to take the champion out of his game. And there's just no sense of urgency, no ability to put together combinations, and no sustained attack in that department, the low leg kicking department, where the champion has proven to be king on more than one occasion.
Yeah, he has. He's going after it, but Amosov is returning fire on him, and he's actually doing the better work. Douglas Lima's got to get his back off of that cage.
1 minute has gone by here in the fifth round.
Just amazing that just no output from the champion. He's waiting, just waiting, throwing ones. Ones are not going to do it.
3.5 minutes left in the fight. The jab split the guard, but that was all the champion offered up. And for Yaroslav Amosov, content to utilize lateral movement, stay away from Douglas Lima, who refuses to pull the trigger, John.
Well, we know how good Douglas is, but he's afraid of exactly that. He's been taken down so many times by Amosov. He cannot stop the takedowns of Yaroslav Amosov.
Make it 5 takedowns for the challenger, who appears to be 2 minutes and 40 seconds away from becoming the new Bellator welterweight champion and making history. And throughout his tenure as Bellator welterweight champion on 3 different occasions, Douglas Lima's only managed to defend the title successfully on 1 occasion. It speaks to the level of competition at 170.
It absolutely does, but when you're looking at a guy like Amosov, no one has figured this puzzle out yet. No one's been able to stop this guy. He's going to go to 26-0. He will be an undefeated world champion. That says a whole lot about his skill set.
Amosov staying busy enough to allow the fight to remain on the ground. 1.5 minutes remaining in the fight. Is that how much time is left in the third reign as Bellator welterweight champion for Douglas Lima?
Douglas Lima with that closed guard. There he goes, swinging in, looking for an armbar.
He has 10 submission wins, including an armbar, looking to snatch victory. Under 1 minute left. Will we see high drama here at the Mohegan Sun Arena?
Amosov needs to keep the pressure down. He needs to put pressure down into Douglas Lima. Do not let him extend your hips. You see him with the knee inside, trying to create that little pressure on Douglas Lima. Douglas he was starting to extend the hips. You saw him then sink back down.
making MMA history, Yaroslav Amosov on his way to becoming the first Ukrainian champion of a major MMA promotion. Yaroslav Amosov goes the distance, the 5-round distance against the champion Douglas Lima, and Amosov already overcome with emotion, and yet we have yet to hear the judges' scores. But John, how can you see that any other way than a complete shutout for Yaroslav Amosov, who looks to become an undefeated Bellator champion?
There's no way that anyone could not give that fight to Yaroslav Amosov. He knows he won that fight. There is no doubt.
How do you interpret Douglas Lima's performance tonight?
You know, it's so hard to tell, you know, when you have a guy that's that explosive and he's looking for that one shot. It was the takedowns. That was the difference maker. The takedowns of Amosov, his wrestling made Douglas Lima have concern about extending out and going after him, and that was the difference. When he wasn't able to do that, and Amosov was able to continue with the takedowns, just like we're watching right now. Look at that beautiful takedown, brings him to the center of the cage. A ton of body lock takedowns, always getting his arms in position. Nice turn of the hips over. He picked Douglas Lima up numerous times, bringing him down right into the center of the cage. He put on a clinic as far as taking a guy down. Take a look at that. 33 strikes landed to 74, 18 punches to 63. But look at the takedowns. 5 takedowns.
Look at the ground control.
Was the difference in the fight. Those 5 takedowns gave him that ground control. He deserves the title.
Every single statistic in favor of the challenger, Yaroslav Amosov, as we await the official decision.
Now, I can tell you this, Paul. Douglas Lima is a fantastic fighter. He's a fantastic person. As a human being, you can't ask for anyone nicer. He just got beat by a guy that was able to put him in positions where he wasn't able to do what he does best.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
You ready? Let's go, buddy. Come on over here.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance in the world title fight, we go to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first judge, Dave Torelli, scores the fight 50-45, while judges Dave Hagan and Brian Miner both see it the same, 49-46. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the new Bellator welterweight world champion, Yaroslav Amosov.
The first Ukrainian champion in Bellator MMA history, the first Ukrainian champion in major MMA history, the 6th man to hold the Bellator welterweight title, Yaroslav Amosov, via unanimous decision over the now former champion Douglas Lima. Let's go to Josh Thompson.
Yaroslav Amosov, you are the first Ukrainian champion, world champion ever in any major promotion. And you did that against Douglas Lima. What does that mean to you?
So I'm happy because it's my life. It's very long time in training. And it's my result. It's my result, and I'm happy.
You have the best record in all of MMA in the whole sport at 26-0. Coming in here and doing that against Douglas Lima, was your game plan to continue to just take him down over and over?
So now I must recover, and doesn't matter. I have my record. It doesn't matter because I have I want fighting. Organization Bellator give me fight. Okay, let's go. But now I recover and I wait son.
I wait son after у меня родится сын. Родится сын в конце июля.
I'm gonna have a son next month.
Yes, and I'm wait my son.
Congratulations on your victory. Congratulations on your son coming soon. Congratulations on being the new welterweight world champion. Everyone, Yaroslav Amosov.
The sixth man to become Bellator welterweight champion, the first Ukrainian to win a major mixed martial arts title. Yaroslav Amosov dominates Douglas Lima en route to becoming Bellator 170-pound champion. Let's go back to Jen Brown.
Well, thanks, Mauro. 26-0. He's the welterweight world champ. Michael, you had a front row seat there to what looks like should be your next opponent. What did you learn in that fight tonight about Yaroslav Amosov?
I didn't really learn anything that I didn't expect in terms of his takedown ability. But I was just very shocked at Douglas Lima in terms of the lack of urgency to stand back up, the lack of urgency to land your formidable kicks, to put any combinations together. I didn't understand how, even going into the later rounds, how there was no kind of like, let's throw in the Hail Mary and try and win this fight and get it back. I didn't see it.
Yeah, there's not much we can say. Yaroslav Amosov took Douglas Lima out of his game plan. He didn't make the adjustments. His coaches didn't help him make the adjustments. And then that was the ultimate problem right there. And that's how he lost his welterweight title.
Were you surprised, like what Michael said there, that we didn't see more attempts from activity from Lima?
I was absolutely surprised. But the problem is, though, is once you take someone out of their game and they don't make the adjustments, you're just going to keep doing what you were doing. He was having success with the takedowns, and that's what happened.
All right. Well, hey, we had 4 wonderful fights tonight. We've got a new welterweight world champion. Hey, great job tonight, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Really enjoyed having you at the desk.
Definitely, I really enjoyed it today.
Well, we look forward to seeing you in the cage. We always tell the guys, don't get too comfortable. Do a great job, but don't get too comfortable. All right, great job to you too, Josh. All right, well, if you would like to revisit any portion of tonight's fight action, of course, we've got you covered. Check your listings to find replays of Bellator MMA on Showtime and Showtime Extreme. Now, Friday, June 25th, the #1 heavyweight in Bellator rankings, Tim Johnson. Now, he meets the 10-1 Valentin Moldavsky. The heavyweight interim title is on the line. That is Friday, June 25th, only on Showtime. Well, fight fans, don't go anywhere, because coming up next, it's a sneak peek at Showtime's Championship Boxing's next 2 fight nights. It is All Access Charlo versus Montiel, followed by All Access Davis versus Barrios. Well, some great fights tonight. That does it for us up here at the fight desk. Mauro, great night of Bellator MMA action. We're going to head back over to you.
All right, Jen, Yaroslav Amosov celebrating the fact that he is the new Bellator welterweight champion. We began the evening with welterweight action. Mark Lemminger snapping a 2-fight losing streak, recording a TKO victory over DeMarquez Jackson in the second round. Aaron Pico wins his 4th straight via anaconda choke against Aiden Lee. And then it was Jason Jackson making it 5 straight wins as he defeats Paul Daley via unanimous decision, utilizing wrestling and ground control. And then in the main event, Yaroslav Amosov took defending champion Douglas Lima out of his game, utilized takedowns, utilized ground control to make history as the first Ukrainian champion of a major MMA promotion. For all of us here at Bellator 260, good night from Mohegan Sun Arena.